call this meeting to order at 7:40. Let's do a quick attendance. I'm here, Cloud, Joe,
Here.
Amanda, and Steve. Here.
Here.
Harper, here. Audrey, here. And May, here. Last meeting's minutes. Oh, right. Wait, you were here. Is the 19th? Do we want the 19th or do we want last?
No, the 19th was just a work session.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it wasn't a meeting.
So then,
In that case, we went from 7:35 to 8:37, and the main talk was just the youth conference and where we wanted it to go and with the agenda. We talked about.
perfect. I vote to approve the minutes. Does anyone second? Cool, let's get rolling. Public input. We have someone from the public here today.
Yes, I can get it started. Destiny was.
Do you want to
was
wait
really-
a little
Do we want
bit?
it? Can we?
Can we push it back to the,
Yeah,
maybe till I get here?
yeah, that would be great,
Okay.
because it'd be good to have her, she's got all the info to tag to that survey, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll wait a little bit and then Ginger and Destiny will do a little presentation and introduction to you guys about what they're, want you guys to be involved in.
Sounds good. So then we can just go right to the youth conference to get rolling on that. I did send in a request for the speaker. They have not gotten back to me. I did log into there and it just looks like this Facebook looking thing.
Okay.
But it was weird. So then I did what you said and they have not gotten back to me.
The Flourish Lab. So I reached out to CPRA to ask for speakers, and they said that they sent us one, and her company's called Flourish Lab. And she spoke at one of the conferences last year. So, but also Destiny yesterday sent me about 7 or 8 different speakers that Larimer County and all her youth specialists committee recommended, and one of them was very interested. So that list is right here. She said they're all younger people, so that could play into our commission or our summit. So what we need to do, I think, is just kind of come up with some questions, some ways to filter out who's going to be best and what we're looking for. So maybe today we can kind of work through that and what we're looking for in a speaker. What I explained to her was just youth and community activism, and this is what the list that she brought. So I think, yeah, we just need to maybe get some ways to filter this down a little bit and reach out to everyone. But she did say someone was already interested, Destiny Dominguez. She is the first one.
Yeah. Nice.
So we're gonna get a speaker.
Perfect.
So if Flourish Lab doesn't reach out, we'll just stick here.
Do we want to come up with those things, narrow it down now?
Yeah, and then we can maybe send those out to this group and see which one answers better, and then you can decide who you want to go with.
What I could do is I'll just create a form with all the questions, and then we'll just email everyone because they're aware, and then just have them answer those questions through the form, and it'll send it to us, and then we can decide from there.
Some of these people look like they're only accessible on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
There's like 2 of them that are like Instagram only.
Which is
Maybe
fine.
you
We
can-
can get hold of
Maybe you can ask that they send profiles of who these people are, because that kind of makes me, I don't know, I have questions like, who are they, why are they good speakers, what do they represent? I think it'd be good for you guys to know who they are, like a bio.
That's what we could do like in the form. Steve
Well,
was
I have
talking
the
about.
Birth of Youth Advisory Instagram on my phone. You could follow them and see what they look like.
Yeah.
So, okay, but Should one of the questions, should we ask them what they wanna talk about or what they're gonna talk about?
I like May's idea of like, can you please give us your bio?
Yeah, what do you do, like, you know,
Please
what,
provide a brief description of your bio. Yourself.
Or like previous experiences and who it was and a way to contact them.
Okay, what's up? What else?
Do we want ways they've engaged with the youth? Like events they've done with the youth?
And some conferences they spoke at
Mm-hmm.
that have engaged you. Is there anything else you would like to know about them that would make you choose them?
You didn't say what they specialize in, but I assume that that's what they include in the bio, so.
Might be a good question to ask in case they don't touch on that in your bio,
What was that?
what they specialize in.
Or like, I guess kind of touching on the previous one, what are like some contacts with like, or like what are some other people that could like recommend you or like tell us what you did just as another like source?
Reference?
A reference, that's what I'm trying to say.
that's a good idea.
So I have provide a brief description of your bio and previous experience. Events you have been a part of that were focused around engaging the youth in community activism. What do you specialize in? Do you have any references regarding public speaking?
Yes, and so we just need to make a form with those questions.
And what is your cost?
Would you like me to?
Well, we need to know that.
They know the dates.
Are you available? What was it again? May?
Made 9 to 5:30 to 8 at this current standing.
And I would even ask, would you be available to stay and answer any questions at the end of the event?
Cause I don't think they would need to be there for the full like time, because like the agenda we made a while back, it's like we just have like a few, we have a little bit of time in there that we need to fill up, so like I guess whatever time works best for them, we can move it around. So this is for the motivational speaker, right?
So I think we include this as well. This is your all's website.
Yep, here's your page. That was created
Nice.
for you.
So I think we just put that first portion in the form
Uh-huh.
that explains everything about what we're doing.
Just so you guys know, I did, at the last board meeting, mention this event, and there's interest from a few of the board members to speak as well. So let me know how you'd like to handle that, or,
I think I did reach out to one of them, but I think it was Brett, but he didn't have much experience with youth. It was more like finance. But
sure. He's, I know he's owned and operated major, grocer franchises, so he is business savvy. But perhaps the board might be better for just speaking to you guys about Berthoud related, like why they are on the board and how you like how you guys can make a difference in your community kind of thing.
Yes. I was looking here and I'm cross-referencing the digital one we have here, the agenda, the two agendas.
I think it was modified a little bit during our last
Yes, I was just double checking if we wanted, because the change that I see here, it's that first speaker goes to 6:45 when the timing was 6:30. On here, would you like me to change it to match what's on the website?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
we can kind of go over this later, but I just wanted to make sure we include, because they didn't know what this is. They didn't get any real background of what they're going to be speaking about, all these people. So it'll be our job to ensure they know what we're looking for. So what are we looking for? Because I mean, we're asking them questions, but I don't know if you all truly know. I keep on saying community activism, but that's me.
Yeah, someone that's active in the community, someone that's worked with youth before, and has like seen like the youth engagement in like the activities. Maybe has like ran something youth wise, like something in the community. But
So you want them to you want them to pump up this group at this conference to get them more involved in community engagement,
yeah,
right? That's the whole motivation of this speaker is to do that. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Does everyone understand that?
So that's something I'll say. So we're looking for, and I'll make the words better. We're looking for a speaker that'll pump up the group and the kids to get them to be involved in their community.
You know, and the reason for that and what they get out of it and how it benefits. You know, they may not see the benefit right off the bat, but, you know, what's the end result? And if they can push that towards this group and get more involvement, that's the whole point of this speaker.
should we tell them that they're only speaking for like how long?
15 minutes?
15
Or no,
minutes?
or is it 45? Sorry.
Should we imagine that they're speaking for 45 minutes if they do it?
Well, and I think we'll probably need to cut it down a little bit if more of the board members are wanting to speak.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so you guys just
because-
decide what framework you want, I guess.
Because when we had last talked, it wasn't that many. We had just had May, I believe, that we knew of.
Yeah. And I know at least Brett would like to speak. So,
Would like to speak?
yeah, he did let me know that he would like to.
Do you know if Will was interested?
He was super jazzed and excited, but he didn't say anything about speaking,
Okay.
so I could ask him.
Because I did email him and he was like, he hasn't emailed me back.
I wonder. I could follow up with him if you'd like to leave room for a third. But I wouldn't maybe do too many more, just to keep it
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
But
We could consider it.
It-
like,
I would-
like
I-
panel
I think just a
speakers.
few, like just a couple minutes for us would be totally fine. Wouldn't have to
So
be.
maybe the speaker, 40 minutes, maybe another 5 for the board members.
Or we could even be like 35 minutes for the speaker, give board members 5 minutes each.
Sounds good.
That's a good idea.
I mean, we could probably push this to 8:30 too, you know?
We thought about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe and I talked about that last night.
I mean, 8:30 is not, they're only there for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the speakers are gonna be really good now that we have a list. But the game will be fun too, though.
Yeah, I think your game is gonna be the most impactful. Well, not most, I shouldn't say that. Your speaker.
The most engaging one, for
Most
sure.
engaging, yeah. And we'll take the longest.
So maybe we push this out to 8:30 and give an hour and 15 minutes for speakers.
I think your activity is gonna take longer.
At
than your
45.
speaking. Yeah.
Well, we only give them 20 minutes to do it, but then they gotta talk about it. And if we get 10 groups, then yeah.
So give another 15 minutes to the speaker, another 15 minutes to the game. Push it to 8:30.
I tend to think that, I don't know, an hour would be hard attention span wise for
For speaking.
listening. Yeah. I mean, even for me, that gets long, right? So if it's hard for me, then I think with you guys, your age group, that might be kind of a long time to sit and listen to people just talk at you. What do you think?
People to be after the game, like while we're discussing, and then afterwards they can be like, and here's how it relates to government stuff.
That's a good idea. Maybe break it up into 2 different speaking chunks.
I think we do have.
And we do have that. the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, because it goes speaker, game activity, and then round table discussion.
And then could we just throw in the town board members during the roundtable discussion or after it?
We'll split up the speakers.
That's a good idea.
I think that's a great idea.
You know, they always have an ending speaker at every conference. So you have a beginning and then you have an ending.
Kind of your launch shot.
So maybe the board members could be the ending.
Yeah.
This person that we choose is that 45 minutes, because we want it to be worth their time, right? We don't want them to show up here for 15 minutes and talk. We're gonna have them come from wherever they're coming from.
Well, the speaker will be at the beginning and then the board members at the end.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like giving them, what was I saying? Yeah, so 45 minutes in the beginning for the whoever we choose, and then how long for the end?
So maybe 8 to 8:30 is board
There you go.
speaking,
Yeah.
and then that kind of adds that time there.
Yeah, I think that's good. I will make those changes. And then, so what's the plan on, or I mean, so I've got the questions, right? I'll put those out. I'll create that today. I'll send that to you all, and then just give me a thumbs up on it.
Yep, sounds good.
And then we'll get this to these people as soon as we can.
Sure.
We'll get a hold of people on Instagram. We got an Instagram as well, so. Figure out a way.
Have we sent this invite to any other communities yet? Gotten any feedback? Availability?
We are still waiting on a flyer, so I was hoping that was gonna be something that we get to see today. Because the website's rolling, QR code's made, we just need to stick that QR code on this flyer. And
Email it to us too.
so I did get a hold of a handful of other youth commissions,
Oh, good.
so we got like 6. And then our last work discussion, we decided that it wouldn't be appropriate to have BLA and the student council, because they're not really, it's not what we're doing. We're more of a community outreach, working with board members, government focus, so
You did email us.
youth commissions are what we want.
No,
Yeah.
I will.
So, and we found a whole bunch of them through Larimer County.
That's exciting.
I would go ahead and email this to us right now.
Building bridges that weren't there before.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big deal.
They're all pumped about it, because then no one's done this before.
Yeah, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
It's gonna be pretty neat.
So I think we have 3 in Fort Collins, Estes Park, Loveland, Greeley. And yeah, we're just waiting on the flyer to
Awesome.
get them.
Mom and I had this idea last night, is so then when we're all coming in, do we wanna have like separate different tables or like one big one? Cause if we have the separates, like say there's 5 tables, and when the people come in, we give them a number 1 through 5, and they sit at that, so they're not sitting like with their commission, they're sitting with other people from other commissions. Just as a thought.
What did we talk about last?
So the game,
The game will do that.
yeah, so I mean, they could all sit together right at the beginning, and then we do your idea of giving cards out
Yeah,
and say, this table's 1 through 5,
yeah,
and then each table has a representative of a different commission, because then we'll explain the game later.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't want
they're all gonna work together, so they don't work with their own teams.
I'm scared too.
Are we inviting other town board members or mayors to attend from other commissions so that they can, I'm just saying that it'd be beneficial for the youth to engage with their town councils at something like this too.
Should we encourage them to do that?
I think that would be good. What do you guys think? Like have them invite their mayor or their liaison for their commission so that they can get to know them better.
Yeah.
There is a portion in here, what is it, at the very end? Engage in the roundtable discussion, exchange your thoughts, reflection on today's activities. I thought Was there a time where we were gonna have each commission talk about what they do?
Yeah.
I thought that's what the round table
Is
That
was.
is that, but it's not just the day's activity, it's that,
That needs to
so
be
we need to
included.
we need to reword that.
Okay.
And I don't think 15 minutes is enough time for that.
No, yeah, and then we came up with the questions too, we were gonna ask, right?
Mm-hmm. We did.
'Cause we were
Can you
gonna-
resend that action log? I can't find it.
Yeah.
Need to save it in a better spot.
It's in the drive under 2025, I think.
Yeah, I
I'll
need to
just
save
send it
it.
to you.
Okay, yeah, that'll probably be easier.
So to clarify, does roundtable discussion means there's individual
That's
tables
hard for us.
that they're discussing different topics on, or is it the entire group is having a roundtable discussion?
I think they're in smaller groups, but they're like discussing maybe the same things.
I thought at the end they all get in their own groups and then they introduce themselves and
Awesome.
do their own thing.
Is there opportunity to have like a group wide like Q&A so that you guys can ask like how does your commission handle this, or
Mhm.
how do you guys like what are your meeting structures, or
That was supposed to be during the lunch, during the dinner, is that not correct?
Oh, is that what is happening there?
what if you just put out a survey to everyone who's coming and they could answer those questions ahead of time?
Yeah, I think.
And then you guys can have that discussion at your tables or something.
I think we came up with the questions when we did the little thing at the rec center last.
Awesome.
week.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, okay, perfect. So make sure that gets in, so you guys have good
I can send that.
direction.
to
So we wanna
you.
create a
The
questionnaire
questions are on there.
that's sent to all the groups that RSVP yes, and they fill it out, and then we talk about it from that 7:45 to 8.
Awesome.
That sound, because then we could just have everyone's stuff.
Mm-hmm. So then you could just have anybody who wants to talk, you just stand up and read off their answers to their questions and what they do. I think that would go smooth.
Yeah.
That way they're not put on the spot.
Right, yeah, there will be those who would prefer not to, I'm sure.
Do we have the invite ready?
Yeah, I had issues with downloading it. Only seem to happen during meetings, but sending it out now. I'm treating myself to do this.
Just hold it.
What's the team building activity Shark Tank?
It's where you get a bunch of, we just bring in a bunch of random objects and you're with like a team and you got 20 minutes to build something and then pitch it. We were thinking to like a bunch of board members and then they would pick the best ones.
That's awesome, I love that idea.
Maybe you get like a little prize or something.
Oh, that's so
Nothing.
fun.
Yeah.
Are
Get
we,
some birthday swag.
yeah, I was gonna say, did we get some swag? Yeah,
You got tons of it.
that's awesome.
Hey, get some birthday swag.
They say recreation on it.
Hey, it's our building.
So, okay, free stuff.
Self-promoting.
Coffee mugs. Beanies. We got beanies.
BYAC stickers.
Yeah.
What? It's a great BYAC stickers.
Mhm. Maybe we make a little logo for this
can do a
thing, for
town
this
update.
commission or this summit.
You wanna do a time of day?
Give them some little protein shakers or, workout stuff.
Yeah. While we're waiting for the flyer,
Do
yeah,
I
they
have
do
that
a
to
new town
them
update.
roughly?
Sure. So at our last meeting, we had a couple of interesting things come up. We approved a alteration request for a building downtown. It's 330 Mountain Avenue, which is the old Bertha Drug. So someone has purchased that and we don't know what's going in it yet, but they asked for approval because it's a historic building to reface the entire building to the original old-fashioned brick and big glass windows, and it's so exciting. So
Wow.
Wait, so they're keeping the old fashioned, they're not like making it like new?
they're taking it back to the original old-fashioned, which is kind of neat. So we got to see the original pictures from like 1919, I think. And so it's really neat. So the facade that's on there now is more like, I forget which decade that was, probably 50s. But that's all gonna be resurfaced, and so that was exciting. So we're hoping
Bertha drug.
the old Bertha drug. So yeah, hopefully that will be like a domino where other buildings and people in town feel excited to bring things back to its original glory. So
They didn't tell you what's going on yet.
I don't know. No, I don't know what's going in it. I would assume probably some type of retail is what I'm assuming. So we'll see. I was really hoping for a soda fountain, but you know, one can dream.
One can.
Yeah. The other thing that came up was the town has always had a push for the dark sky ordinance, which a lot of people don't understand. The goal of a dark sky ordinance is to reduce the lumens that go up into the atmosphere that reduces the visibility of the night sky. And so Berthoud's trying to become the first on the Front Range because there aren't any in northern Colorado that are dark sky certified. And the goal is that Berthoud, with it being, we have 2 observatories in town, and it having that quaint kind of small town charm to keep it visible to the night sky visible for Berthoud. So that's kind of the goal of it. There are technically 2. There's the one at the museum, the telescope, and then the one at high school. So yeah, which is unique for a small town. So it's kind of an interesting thing about Berthoud that we have that other people don't. And then one of my concerns has always been if it's dark in Berthoud. Well, 2 concerns. 1, is there more crime? And 2, does it reduce our business kind of downtown? And so the neat conversation that came from this is it shows we can have lots of lighting that goes down, which will still keep Berthoud well lit and safe and vibrant. It just doesn't go, the lighting doesn't go up. So that applies to all of our new development, all the business development, and then trying to encourage homeowners to do what they can
Will
too.
it be like implemented into like the existing like street lights and?
All of the town-owned lights, yes.
Oh.
They can't change, obviously, structures that already exist, but all the new ones that come online, they'll have requirements on the lighting. So if you guys have any thoughts on that, like, definitely let me know what you think. I think there's fun things we could do with that to market it.
Yeah.
And one of the things they talked about is designating viewing areas for stargazing in Berthoud, which is kind of neat. So maybe think of some cool spots that you think would be fitting. And then we talked about transit, which is a big deal for Berthoud. Berthoud has a transit system for seniors and those with disabilities, helping them get to their doctor's appointments and things like that. We have RAFT, it's rural area, I forget the F always, something transportation. And then we have BATS, which is through the town of Berthoud. And so those 2 organizations we're trying to figure out how to mesh those to make sure we service all of the needs for that, especially that group of people. But there's a lot of conversation about transportation in Berthoud right now. So if you guys have any thoughts on that too. The town also applied for a grant for microtransit. So it was approved, but we're waiting to see if the funds will actually be released for basically more eco-efficient cars in Berthoud that could essentially be a Berthoud-based Uber system. So that would be we'd be a pilot town for that. It hasn't happened in a small town before. So just some interesting things if you guys ever have thoughts on what needs the youth have for transportation, because sometimes that can be limiting. But I noticed that you guys said in a couple meetings ago that one of the things you love about Berthoud is you could kind of get to everywhere in town pretty easily. And so if there's anything that you see as being difficult, let me know. I know that Berthoud, we're putting in that trail alongside Berthoud Parkway to help people get from north to south into town a little bit better. So that should help with some of the.
Because it is, you gotta go all the way around.
Yeah, and it's dangerous. You can drive fast on that, and there's no stoplight. So if you guys ever have any of those kind of concerns or things that you see the youth talking about, please let us know. And those are the big ones.
Did you guys get the invite in your mail? Perfect. Can you pull that up?
Because we need the flyer to be able to take to Rise and
Thank you.
look at that. So this would be the flyer invite that we would send to the committees, the outside youth committees.
Yeah, assuming that we'd have a QR code if we're still doing that.
And we do have that for you, so we'll send that to you to put that on the flyer.
Great. Sounds good.
And the QR code would take them directly to the website to give them more information.
What do you guys see on there? You guys run through it? Any editing that needs to happen?
Do we want the we aim to? Or should we switch it to we will be having a speaker?
Positive environment.
Yeah. Positive environment.
What did you say? I'm sorry, Bill?
Switching the we aim to a we will be having.
So the purpose of the QR code is to get rid of the words on the flyer. So, in my opinion, we aim to, none of that needs to be there. It needs to be more engaged, grabbing, you know, to where they read it and they're like, oh, this is gonna be cool,
Yeah.
you know? Because all that stuff's gonna be on the website. So we should promote the QR code to go to the details of the event, but anything that's on this flyer should be what hooks you. So what could we do to hook them?
Should we like first annual youth summit?
First ever.
First ever youth summit?
Northern Colorado.
NOCO Youth Summit.
I mean, it might be the first ever
Okay.
in Colorado.
We can,
You never
Well, we don't know
No,
that.
we
We don't want to
don't.
say that and have people be like, oh.
no one could prove us wrong.
Prove us wrong.
Yeah.
I would steer clear of NOCO or
Yeah, that's
NOCO.
That's not us.
Because it could be limiting, right?
Yeah.
In case
Yeah.
we wanted to reach other youth commissions.
The idea is this to get big, right? And you all are gonna be the pioneers of it, so.
First ever youth summit. What if you guys just took those bullet points and instead of having a sentence, have like an engaging word, like motivational speaker? Yeah, exactly. Free food and games and networking.
Free food's
Other
gotta be on there. It's gotta be
Free
like.
food.
Yeah, food.
Free
Letters.
food.
Yeah.
I wonder, I love the flowers,
I do
but
too.
I think the flowers are good. I wonder if I wonder if mountains would be good too, because it's Colorado. Too, but I love I mean, if we like the flowers, I love the flowers. I just
I
don't
love the flowers.
Yeah, I think the design looks great.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be too busy,
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's,
Yeah, I
good.
think
It's
it's
just the
good as
words
is.
are too busy for
Perfect. And
Yeah.
keep it.
my brain and.
I agree.
Brains, I would say.
So do you want some specific actions to take, Harper, or you, where you at on that? How do you feel
I've
about
got
this?
down a couple things with an idea, unless you have a specific thing, and I'd just love to hear it.
I like at the bottom how you have, we'd love to see your committee join us for this event.
Yeah, I really.
Yeah.
I really like that because you're inviting their entire committee. I wonder if you just add their youth advisory committee. So that it's clear to them that we're inviting their youth advisory committees.
Yeah.
But I think you should keep that on there and those words. And even though it's kind of a long sentence, I think you should leave that.
Yeah.
And have that be your ending sentence.
See your youth committee.
And then up at the top, take your date, May 9th, and the time, and just move that into one of your bullet points, so it doesn't get lost at the bottom.
So you have like your first paragraph, and you do have duplicate words in your first paragraph. Oh, this is super fun. That's nice. In there. So then, from what I'm hearing from the group, then you can keep that first paragraph, and then move your date up right underneath that on the big bold letters. And you can simplify your next bullet points to motivational speaker, free food, games and networking, fun.
And then we remove the QR code.
Yeah. And then keeping that, we'd love to see you at the bottom there, do you want them to keep that for questions, also keep that part, or, and then, or just add the QR code to it? Register here or for more information?
I think we need an RSVP, and where's that going into who?
Well, it can go, can we make it go to like me and May or me and one of you guys?
Yeah, so when they
Fill out that
when
form.
they RSVP,
Can it be a link? And then
Yeah.
it says like
and then it emails
the
somebody.
name, how many people. I'll create that.
Yeah, sweet.
So from either the QR code or the website, one of those needs to link into somewhere to it to allow them to RSVP.
So for questions and to register, QR code?
Perfect. Good job,
And
guys.
then, do you guys need to generate a QR code for her, or do you want her to generate one?
We have one.
I'm sending it to you, everyone I know.
We already have one created.
Working on one screen is not cool.
That's free over there, Steve.
I know, but then you all see what I'm doing, and it messes it all up.
Does that help make it concise?
You guys should feel excited. This is pretty cool.
First ever.
Pretty cool resume tick too.
So we have somebody from the community. What do you think, Ginger?
I love it. I think this is amazing. And I totally agree with some of your comments as I'm looking at the flyer, and just as we've done many flyers and stuff, is get them you gotta hook them in a few words.
Yeah.
So I love the direction that you're going with that. I think it's gonna be really cool, and congratulations for pioneering this thing. This is amazing. Good job.
It doesn't say the location. Do we need to put that as like the?
Well, that's why you scan the QR code.
That should definitely be on
We
there.
should put it on there.
Yeah.
So they know where they're going. Okay, add the location too, Marky,
Okay.
on your flyer.
And just to confirm, that's the rec center?
Uh-huh.
Do
So
you can
create a form
those
that groups can
changes
RSVP to, and it'll
by-
be clickable on the flyer and also the website.
I think so.
Because the QR code itself, one QR code, two QR codes is weird on the flyer. So one will take us to the website, below that will say, click here to RSVP your group.
Yes.
Or email us the questions.
And also, yeah, and I think, yeah, the QR code can be, that as well. More information or questions, click the scan here. This will be digital, so QR codes are weird when you send them digitally, because how do you scan it when you're on your phone? But I think you can click on them, right? Are they clickable?
Yeah, I think like if it's only on your, you can look at the picture, if it brings it up.
Should be able to just hold it.
Kind of like zoom in on it.
And click it. You can scan it on your phone? Okay.
Okay,
I'm sure about that.
I'm not sure about it either. We should
And what
probably test that.
what questions am I asking on the RSVP? What
What questions should he ask on the RSVP?
name
Name
of
of
commission,
commission.
Members attending.
Number of
Number of
members.
members.
member,
of-
Names of members.
We don't need to know their names.
Yeah.
Names.
member attending,
Should we ask if like their mayor is attending?
Yeah.
Like we're talking, like be like, is your mayor or somebody from
Liaison.
your board going to attend?
yeah, cause then that says it without having to say it, like, they're invited.
Well, then we can tell ours like, hey, FYI.
Yeah, other mayors are coming. Might wanna
So-and-so's
come.
gonna be here.
Very smart tactic.
So will you have a town board liaison attending?
And mayor, board mayor.
What else? What do you wanna know? Name, number attending, will you have a board member with you?
Contact info, places we can reach them at.
Primary contact,
Should we leave a place for questions that they have for us?
Yeah.
Probably. I think we were discussing that the landing page for the QR code takes us on the webpage where it's got a RSVP here or contact for questions.
and we're calling this a summit, right? I don't know if that was just me.
I was calling it a conference.
You're calling a conference, so I guess what do we wanna do with that?
Summit sounds cool.
So it does sound really cool.
Plus it sounds
Okay,
Sorry,
Steve,
Zoe.
Yeah.
making notes, summit. Jeez.
So youth summit,
Let me
right?
rewrite it on my piece of paper.
So the Birth of Youth Advisory Committee, so what was, we'll get to the action one, and then I'll explain
We'll get to that later.
youth.
But we only have 20, we only have 10 minutes, and you were wanting to kind of go over some survey questions and things, or?
Yeah, I can give a very brief thing with Destiny has all the things. I think Amanda's maybe talking with what happened. Hopefully everything's okay.
Okay.
But I can give a kind of an quick intro to it.
That will work.
Let's wait till Amanda gets back. She might have one. If they're sending her something.
I did try to request access to it.
I did too, and
Don't see
it's
anything.
telling me well, it used to pop up, and now it's saying you have to request
I
access
normally
again,
go
so
in
I
that
can't.
week so I could guess.
Good old Google Forms.
And the second talks, I think. April.
It doesn't say on their slideshow or anything.
And the same with the 25th. Or like the nope, the second. Maybe. I think they were waiting on.
Yeah.
This let's get the go ahead on this one because I didn't know whether it'd be at the end of the day. I was scared.
I know,
We're
right?
logging into the Zoom call right now.
Oh, let's see.
Just, we're seeing if we can get you into a Zoom call.
It's crickets.
While we're waiting,
I know, right? I was in the-
do we want another little quick meeting in 2 weeks?
I don't really know what we're doing.
A week? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how to send this. I don't really know much about it at all. Thought it might be easy.
You just send it to Jen.
This thing's talking. Here, no, that's not it.
If we did another little one, it'd be on the 19th.
Yeah. Can we just send it through to,
I would have to check.
can you send us a meeting invite?
So maybe we go next week.
Are you,
Oh, it is spring break.
are you in
Yeah.
spring break?
Yep.
So then we could either do
26.
the 12th or the 26th for the next little catch up meeting. At the
I think 12th should work for me.
Oh man,
That's next Wednesday.
So next week.
Yes, and then I think we could do like the 12th and then hold off until like April 2nd so we can get back onto where we were.
Will that just be like a work session?
Otherwise,
What's her email? I think I got it.
that's also a question for everyone.
So if we
I
go
know.
to that meeting, we can just send everything.
If she could just give me access, we can look at the survey, and we could just do it then.
Can we just have access to the survey and then we can look at it?
Okay, so the 12th and the 12th is something.
Can we get access to the survey?
So if it's okay with you guys, I'll go ahead and email the mayor and Brett, trustee Wing, and request that they prepare 5-minute motivational speech for the end of the meeting, and give them the details if that's okay.
So as you guys we're kind of waiting here. Here's the action log. There's a few things that have been added here.
So you're basically telling me
So speaker and questionnaire, I'm gonna take care of. The second one, swag, it's a new one that I think we could, being that we're not going to DC, we can spend a little, money to promote this summit.
Create our own custom logo.
And then that's the next portion, is create a logo for this that we can put on, that everyone gets. And then maybe the winners, the winners of the Shark Tank thing get something really cool. Maybe from a sponsor or something like that, or we buy them something. But I think for next meeting, try to create a logo together, come up with some ideas of swag that you would want to give away as a group that promotes
Okay, perfect.
The
So
group-
we'll
the
open that
summit
up and
itself.
so we show 'em
We need to
the
create a layout for the
and
gym.
then if they're willing to
So
provide
that includes a list of equipment that you think we need. Commissions, Amanda's reaching out to Greeley and Loveland. I've got Fort Collins and Estes Park. So that should be the ones that we have. Put together who will be speaking during the time. So throughout this, you all will be kind of getting up and kind of introducing the speakers, closing. And yeah, so if you could just share this action log with the group and start taking bites from it.
Sounds good. Do we want this next meeting to be, so we have spring break on the 19th. So we probably wouldn't be able to do that one if we're doing the little workshop things.
Sorry.
Otherwise, it would be the 12th or the 26th, or we wait all the way till April.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get the survey up. And
You're good. So we're just a little workshop meeting. When do we want that to be? Because the 19th is spring break.
I think we should do.
Doing what we all did, us three, and to take care of this action log stuff. Is that what you're asking? Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Okay, so do we want that the 12th or the 26th? So it'd either be next week or the week before our meeting.
12th,
Yeah, that might just talk.
activity pool closed for, yeah, I can do 12th.
12th? Do we just want to do it next week?
So that's a work session,
Mhm.
Work session, yeah.
so it's not a meeting, it's a work session.
From 7:30 to 8:30 again?
At the rec center, right?
At the rec center.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I won't be able to make it.
The 12th is at the rec center or?
Yeah.
Do you guys want or need me there, or you guys got it? Kind of more logistics, so it's up to you.
Well, just knowing speaker wise whether.
I can get that info to you so you can plan. Does that sound good? Yeah. We should have a town board meeting the day before, so I can confirm on the 11th.
And then, so hopefully by Wednesday we have a finalized flyer as soon as we get there, and then reached out to speakers. I'll let you know if Flourish Labs replies to me. But other than that, yeah. Do a quick talk about whatever.
Ginger, did you get a chance to talk about anything?
No, we were waiting to
Sorry.
see what Destiny said, or if she had a way to get us the survey, before, so I'm Ginger Tomasi, I'm with House on Neighborly Service. And one of the things, some of you may know that we're in partnership with the town to build an actual building for House of Neighborly Service. We've been in Berthoud serving for 36 years now. And as we work to have a physical building that will also host other nonprofits in there, as well as all the basic needs services that we provide, one of the things that's been on our heart for several years now is a way to provide a space in this Life Center building for youth. A place where you can, come, it could be homework help afterwards, it could be different clubs, it could be mentorship. The ideas are kind of limitless as to what this space could contain. And so we've been working with the county. Unfortunately, Destiny wasn't able to make it this morning, and there's a survey that's been put together, and that's what we were hoping to be able to pop up so we could kind of get your input of if the questions that we're putting out there actually are going to trigger the responses that we want. So we figured you guys looking at it could help us go, if you gave us some feedback on what that question meant to you, we could go, that's not the direction we're trying to go, and we can help reframe those questions. So possibly at some point we'll be able to get that up, or we may have to just share it later for some feedback. But what we would also like to know from all of you is just some input too on ways to get this out to the youth. We want a great input from the youth, Berthoud. speaking into what they would like to see in a teen center here in Berthoud. You know, what hours would you like it open and available? What type of ideas would you want? And then what would be your dream teen center? If it, not that we could necessarily create it right away, but what do we move for? What are the steps that we take and what are high priorities? How do we get that out to the youth of Berthoud? You know, it's an online form, so everybody can access it, put their feedback. It's anonymous feedback, so they can, you know, be as open as they want to with what their needs are and what their likes are. But we need ideas. How do we get it out there? How do we make sure the youth of Berthoud have access to it?
I mean, like my first immediate one is like, well, the schools, but then that's a little bit of a hassle. You need the plan kind of far out to get it in because of just how schools work.
I think it would be good to maybe work with a coffee shop like Joyful Brews, be like 10% off your drink if you fill out this survey and prove to us that you did it. Like, I think have some incentive there.
And I think the county was talking incentive too.
Mhm.
They've got some
Yeah.
ideas on incentivizing, but I like the coffee idea too, the over there, the coffee.
Yeah. Because I know like a lot of the teenagers go and get coffee like every single morning, me being one of them. So if it's 10% off my drink, I'm like, okay, I'm saving money here. I'll fill out this survey.
Right, maybe something Destiny could put in there, if you finish and complete the survey, a coupon pops up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they can show that on their phone too.
A lot of the kids go to the BYAC arcade
Or
too,
be rad.
so that would be a nice
Be like-
incentive for the non-coffee
Free
drinkers.
$5.
Joyful Brews, guys.
Yeah,
I'm not a coffee drinker. I still go to Joyful.
or
Yeah.
maybe swimming at the rec center or something.
What do you think distribution wise, because we've worked on this before, how you get information to you, what have we found out, or where do you think, how do you think they give this QR code or this information out
media.
to?
Social media or putting flyers on those like little coffee shop counters or like
Tabletops?
through the tabletops or like drive-throughs. You got one there. Like I went to a coffee shop in Loveland over the summer. They had this small little sign of like, give us a review on Google and we'll give you a free cinnamon roll. My friend and I did it, and I mean like it was small but it worked.
It worked, okay.
So
So what are main places here in town where teens would see that? Coffee shops, B-Rads, you
The rec
said,
center.
The rec center.
Hayes. Hayes during lunch, there's like thousands of them there.
Yeah, Hayes school.
yeah, you don't go to Hayes during
You don't go to Hayes during that time.
I don't go to Hayes.
But I think that's
Some
a great
people do.
coupon one
Some
for
people
them,
do.
and they like to work with the school, and
They
they're
have
pretty cool.
$6 sushi.
So
point.
they all go there to get food,
Tuesdays.
so it would be huge for them to do
Free
it.
soda or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
something.
That's why it's $6 sushi.
And
A&W.
Sushi.
I would think that they would have some access to the schools.
That's what we'll have to, that's what I've gotta find out from Destiny, what connections they may be able to connect with the schools, to even put up some QR codes, flyers in the schools through the county, so I'll ask her that as well.
Do you recall, like, through the schools, what did you guys find, what was the channels, or who did you?
Oh, it was like reaching out to district, right?
Yeah, it's the
It was like
district.
getting districts approval.
Yeah, I mean, even our administrator was like, that's kind of a challenge in itself,
Yeah.
but, you know, maybe with the county, working with the county, or working
Yeah.
with the district, we may be able to
Right.
accomplish that.
Mhm.
But yeah, social media with us is
Right.
the best way.
Well, and I can talk to Stu Boyd too. He was initially giving us some feedback on some of the past notes that had been discussed for youth, and so I can reach out to him too and see if he can help us through school board and get fast track some approval.
Grace Place.
Mhm.
would be a good one.
Yeah.
A lot of youth.
Youth, yeah.
And our soccer league's starting, so there's 250 families on a Saturday. If you put up a tent during that event and just set up right there, then you get a lot of exposure.
Yeah.
Maybe go back out.
Yeah, being out there on Saturday at games is huge.
Yeah.
And what about Bertha Day? Are you guys trying to get the surveys accomplished before then, or could
I
Bertha
think,
Day be?
yeah, I think they're on the feedback that, because part of it is we get into the summer in construction docs, we need to start identifying how much space do we need to set aside. An organization that's gonna run, really run with this, so we're trying to get this out in the next, through probably March, April.
So we've had a lot of luck with A-frame signs just being put in our buildings with QR codes and,
Oh, okay.
people can interact with those.
Mm-hmm.
They're super
Reach.
fun.
Get them on reach
What
too.
is the format of your survey? Are they like, are they like multiple choice or are they fill in the blank?
Both. Some are multiple choice, it has lists of activities or suggestions of would you like to see this, and then it has room to put in your own ideas. Things that aren't, we may not have thought of. But a lot of it is multiple choice. Like, when would you use it? Yes, no, maybe. What times would you use it? And there's blocks of times. And then it has lists of activities or things that could be in there, and then room for other. And then there is some fill in the blank of, if it was your dream youth center in Berthoud, what would it look like? And it's just to capture ideas that we might not have thought of. So really, trying to catch from different aspects and angles to really generate a good feedback of what you as youth in Berthoud would like to see.
And you guys kind of saw the pitch about it way back when, if you remember Zoe and Cloud. And I think Aubrey and Harper were there, when we just didn't have enough board members to really get on board to help create all this, if you recall. They did bring that presentation, and was it Team Impact or what was it?
I can't remember.
it-
Oh, yeah,
And
we
they
did
brought
something.
that presentation because they had just done one in Fort Collins. They really did want to bring one to Berthoud.
Uh-huh, yeah, just we didn't have the.
Yeah, we just got you guys in and we were just getting started.
Yeah.
So, but this is the opportunity again to kind of get that started again in Berthoud if it comes around.
I think what would be really impactful, I'm like thinking what my kids would engage with, is if you guys had like a staff member that could like video it, make a reel of these guys pitching it. Because if they hear from their peers, like, hey, look at this cool building, do you know what this is gonna be? This is gonna be a community center, and here's, some ideas we have, but we need you to fill out the survey. And kind of have them pitch it to their peers to get this survey, and then have them share it on social media streams would be,
That would be
I know my
amazing.
kids would
That
engage
be-
with that.
I love that, because that would even be so helpful. We can throw it out on our social media, we can get it out on the Berthoud Facebook if we link it through town newsletter too. But I love that idea of a video from teens saying, help us do that. Is that something that if we put together the opportunity, you guys would be willing to speak to? Do you like the idea of the teen center in Berthoud? Does that appeal to you at all?
Yeah.
Pulling teeth.
I know, I had teenagers too, I know what that's like.
I think you guys can get excited and start like when you go home today, like be envisioning what you would want at a space that you could go hang out, like that's no cost, right? Somewhere that you can meet up with your friends and have activity or engagement. So maybe start dreaming of something because it doesn't exist now, and get excited about it, because then that's going to get the other youth in the community excited to have input.
Yeah.
And then it could be something you guys are proud of.
Yeah.
So.
And maybe it's not for you, but think about your siblings or those that are coming.
Exactly. That's very true.
Well, we can share the survey if it's available. We can push it out to you guys, so we'll send it to you guys, and any feedback that you might have, you can send it back and we can push that on to Destiny and Ginger.
So the feedback